Honey.
That's chili.
I'm not chilly.
Evans, that's chili. She's back. Oh wait, she lives with you though. Since Logan kicked her out.
I'm not chilly. I'm not the Sonic. Dad, I'm chilly.
I hope it was worth it.
It is. Come on, let's go try out some foods. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on. All right, Knuckles. I got the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Hey, Sonic, this chili cheese dog's really good. Thanks for getting it.
No, chili cheese dog. Why?
I thought you got it for. What is wrong with your face?
But my face. What do you mean?
Your face is flat and your nose is all flabby. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm a stunt double.
Oh, what? Either way, what is that? What is that?
Chicken nuggets, cheeseburger, and corn dog.
That's disgusting. Okay.
Jesus.
Well, Chick-fil-A sauce or not?
Am I gonna use it?
Oh, no. Sonic, that's a lot of sauce.
Yeah, more too, right? More too.
I don't like it.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
It's not gonna be good at all.
Hey, Knuckles, help me out. Help me out.
Okay.
Help me out. Yeah. Knuckles.
That is the nastiest. I'm not touching that.
In the ad, it said it will taste like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Yeah, it said from home. Yeah. Oh my God, Sonic! Sonic! Why?
It's
No,
so
no.
good. Oh, yeah.
I gotta do something.
Why did you do that, Knuckles?
I had to stop you. You're a monster.
No, it's so good. Oh, my God.
That's not me. That's not Gary. And that's not me.
You have a problem.
He's dangerous.
Hey, what's up?
I hate when they say don't look behind you, because then that makes you really want to look behind yourself. Why don't you just say, hey, you son?
Here, sit.
I couldn't swim. I was like, sit down. You're a Magikarp. You splash.
Let's watch some TV. Hey, are you a blue hedgehog? Did you just order Chick-fil-A sauce and then get caught by your friends because you got too lost in the sauce? Did they have to give you a bath and you almost drowned because you think you're a magic heart? Not this guy again. Well, do I have good news for you? Forget the Chick-fil-A sauce, because we have another flavor. Just for $19,000. Or, rather, 19 easy installments of $1,000. This bad boy can be yours. No, don't even think about it. Call now, 1-800-VECTOR.
Better than the last one. It's even cheaper too.
No, it's not. He just said it differently. It's actually more expensive.
And it's a different flavor. It's gonna be amazing. It may be even better than the original.
Hey,
Oh my
calm down. You're not getting that sauce.
God. What the sauce?
Silver, get him. Silver, hurry!
Open up! Oh, hey, Anthony.
Oh, hey, what's up, Tilly?
Where's Tito?
Oh, okay. So you want to find this? I swear, every time I buy milk, it's gone the same day.
Is there
I have not had a single milk in the last 3 weeks.
There's some tension going on.
Yeah, so Tito hasn't been giving me my shout-outs! Wake up, Tito!
Wait,
Hey,
sleep in the bathtub now?
wake up! Uncle came to visit you.
Get up, bro. Come on, we're back.
Hey.
That's fucked up.
The banana.
Don't share my story.
I'm Kenya.
Living in an orphanage.
I'm
But
Kenya
first, make
too.
sure to like this video and hit subscribe.
I'm her
if
too.
you do it,
Why did you put this?
I'm
Yes,
Kenya.
I'm changing it.
No,
No,
yes.
let me watch whatever I want to watch. I let you play Minecraft.
Wait, don't let me play anymore. So
Hey, at least I let you.
at least I let you watch.
A new manager,
Now,
Mr. Johnson,
since
took
you're
over the
playing,
orphanage. And let me tell you,
this
we
is your
could smell
last
trouble
one
coming just by
of
looking at him. On his first day, he told all the kids to gather in the dining room. And when he did, he made his first announcement with a strict tone. From now on, all rules will be changed. Anyone who does not follow them will be sent to the isolation room. All the children gasped in fear, but I didn't take his word seriously. So I said to Anna, my friend, he is joking, isn't
I'm
he?
Anna.
Then he yelled, who said that?
I'm not.
Silence
I'm
took
Anna
over the
too.
room. No one said anything.
I'm
But when he
Anna,
threatened
and
one
I'm
of the
Anna.
girls, she pointed at
I'm
me.
Anna,
She told
and
me to
I'm
come
Anna.
forward and stand on the chair.
And that's
Then
not.
he asked
And
one
that's
of the
not
teachers to
Grandpa.
bring some scissors. Then, to my
I'm
complete
Anna.
horror, he started cutting my long, beautiful blonde hair while saying, "This is what you get for interrupting me. No one should speak in my presence." Tears started falling down my eyes, and all the children were terrified. From that day on, life at the orphanage became horrible. We all felt like prisoners. We had to work for everything, and the only free time we got was the time we went to sleep. The only thing that made it fun was watching my crush Braxton. Braxton was so handsome and cute, but we weren't allowed to talk. Mr. Johnson had a rule of no mixing between boys and girls. But one day I opened his locker to take some clothes out. To my horror, I found Braxton there. He put his finger on his mouth as a signal for me not to say anything. But I whispered, "What are you doing here?" And he responded, "I broke one of the windows outside and I thought the girls' locker room was the perfect hiding place." I wanted to reply, but we heard someone coming, so Braxton pulled my hand and dragged me inside. It was tight, and we stood across from each other. I felt my face burning and my heart pounding like crazy. Braxton, however, didn't care at all. He was listening carefully. Then our eyes met, and we blushed. He whispered, "I think we can go out." I blushed and said, "Yes, I will go out with you." But he laughed and said, "No, I mean go out of the locker." I responded, "But I'm serious. I would love to go out with you." We got out, and Braxton left through the window. And from that day on, Braxton and I started dating in secret. We started exchanging letters in secret and meeting in the locker where nobody knew where we were. But then the whole thing got exposed when one of the counselors
I don't
noticed
have
how
a
the two of us
boyfriend.
were looking
I
at each
can't
other.
kiss.
And one time while we were hugging, she
not
opened
his
the locker's door
girlfriend.
and said,
I'm his
"Oh, I see
sister."
what's happening." Braxton and I were caught by surprise. She looked at us angrily and told us to follow her to the office. We sat there waiting for the punishment, but instead she said, "Do you have any idea how much trouble you can get in by doing that?" Braxton and I sat in silence, feeling guilty. She let us out after half an hour of scolding. But when we got out, Braxton had a look of determination on his face. He turned to me and said, "We need to leave this horrible place." I objected. "We are only 16. We are too young. We won't be able to survive."
I
But he
said we're
insisted,
too
"We can
young.
manage. I'm leaving tonight.
That's
You
not
have to
my
come with me.
boyfriend.
Meet me at
That's
midnight
my
in the yard."
ex-brother.
Braxton left me a bit confused. I thought about it all night, but I
Evan,
came to the
you're my
conclusion that the
ex-brother,
orphanage
right?
would be depressing without him. So at midnight, I packed everything I wanted and met him in the yard. We managed to skip the surveillance cameras and ran away, but we didn't know where to go. We kept walking in the street till morning came. After having breakfast, Braxton suggested that we start looking for a job. We only had $100 that Braxton had managed to steal from one of the counselor's purses. We agreed to meet at the same spot several hours later, and we both went asking for jobs. But unfortunately, no one wanted to hire us because we were too young. At night, we managed to get a room in a motel. "Oh my God, the smell is unbearable in this room," I said, feeling disgusted. Braxton, "Well, it's better than sleeping on the street. You'll get used to it." A week went by with both of us looking for a job.
I'm not
Braxton lied about his age and got a
The
job at a
police.
fast food restaurant, but I wasn't as lucky as him. So at the end of that week, Braxton told me, "We need to split up." Because I said to both of us more. I looked at his face. Braxton was dead serious, but I was enraged. "You made me run away with you, and now you want to give up that easy? What a jerk." I took my things and got out. I can't go back to the orphanage because Mr. Johnson will punish me and I have nowhere to go. I sat on the corner of the street wishing that someone would answer for me. A good-looking young woman came and asked me, "What are you doing here, young lady?" I burst into tears. She was the first one to speak to me in 2 days. Girl. She showed me to my room, and I slept like a baby. However, the next day over breakfast, free. A surprised look on my face. Sorry, doesn't get paid for it. "I'll pay you, of course." The whole thing looked tempting. I'll work and get some money. It doesn't
I'm
seem so
gonna
bad.
get some money.
But that's not what happened.
And
On our
I'm
first
gonna
cleaning day, we went to this magnificent
rich.
mansion. The owner gave the keys to Carmen and then went to play some golf. Carmen took some cleaning tools out and told me to sweep the floor while she went checking the rooms. I knew what she was doing was wrong, but I couldn't stop her. I kept cleaning silently. At the end of the day, the owner came back and handed Carmen $1,000. In her little bag. One time, when she was checking a painting on the wall, I opened the bag and noticed a diamond ring. I gasped and closed the bag as fast as I could. That night, I made my decision to steal. If I want to live a better life, I need to start making money. If Carmen does it, then I can do it too. So I started stealing small things from the houses. Little pieces of jewelry, small wooden antiques, and expensive gold pens.
I have
But
a
didn't
black
keep them with
glove.
me. I sold them by going to antique stores.
Glove.
I hid the money I got in a private
And
place, and I showed Carmen that I was grateful for her hospitality, so she didn't suspect me. Things went like that for 2 years, until one night, we heard someone knock on the door. Carmen went to answer. It was the police. I shivered as the officer told her that she was under arrest. The owner of the last house we visited had
I'm
caught her
under
on camera
arrest?
stealing his wife's jewelry. When they left, I couldn't sit still. I packed my bags and got my money out. I decided to move out. I rented a tiny apartment for me and got back to working as the main cleaning lady. I mean, I knew all our clients, and now they would pay me good money that I wouldn't have to steal. And because I was so good at cleaning, I started getting more clients. One of them was called Robin. Robin was in his 20s, and he was so hot. Whenever he was in the house, I couldn't take my eyes off him. There was one problem, though. He was married. Weeks passed with me watching him. At first, he seemed like he didn't care. But then one afternoon while I was cleaning the kitchen, he came in and said, "I know how you are feeling. I feel the same way too." I blushed and looked at him and said, "Oh, really?" He didn't answer. He just came and kissed me. Robin and I started dating in secret, and I thought that it was not that bad to steal from his house. After all, he was enjoying my company. Plus, he had rare, expensive antiques. I stole a few and sold them. Robin was rich, but he was not dumb. Soon he found what I had done and yelled at me. "How dare you steal these things? We pay you good money." I panicked, so I said, "You know, I'm pregnant with your baby." His face went white. He totally believed me, so I made my second strike. "If you want to get me out of your life, you need to pay $2 million. Robin was scared. He clearly didn't want to ruin his relationship with his wife, so he said, "Okay, fine, but you won't work here anymore. You are fired." I responded, "I couldn't care less about working for you. I just need the money. I'll send you my bank account." So Robin started sending me money month by month. I was not pregnant, but I had to fake. I photoshopped some pregnancy photos and sent them to Robin. He kept messaging me, "I don't want anything to do with you or with the baby." When it was time for me to give birth to my fake baby, I offered my neighbor to babysit her newborn. She was surprised, but she agreed quickly because she had errands to do. I took the newborn baby and went to Robin's workplace. He was nervous when he saw me. He told me to meet him in the parking lot so no one could see us. Robin said, "What are you doing here? I paid you everything you asked for." I responded confidently, "The baby and I need a house to live in. I can't stay in that old dusty little apartment." Robin's face turned red. He was angry. But this time he said, "I'll get you the house, but you will sign papers that release me from any further responsibilities. I will also get a restraining order against you. You'll no longer come near me or my house." I smiled and said, "Cool." And so Robin bought me a house outside the city in one of the richest neighborhoods. I was beyond happy. I had a house and a lifetime of savings. I couldn't ask for more. But then 3 years later, while I was shopping for groceries, I heard a familiar voice saying, "Oh my God, Kenya, is that you?" I turned around and it was Braxton. He was taller, bigger, and extremely hot. All my feelings came rushing towards him. I forgot what he did to me and I ran to hug him. I said with pure excitement, "Oh my God, Braxton, I miss you." Braxton looked impressed by my appearance. I could tell that he fell in love with me. We started talking and I invited him over to my house. I
Braxton
had to
is
know what
not my
happened to him.
boyfriend.
However, Braxton was not as lucky or as smart as I was. He was still poor, barely making it from month to month. "Don't worry, Braxton. You can stay here with me in this house. We can live together." Braxton was over the moon. He thanked me and then he asked, "So how did you end up like this?" I told him the whole story and he was proud of me. Braxton and I started living together, but it was not long until he asked me to marry him. I couldn't say no. I loved him from the bottom of my heart. We got married in a small ceremony. I was so happy. But later, I started to get worried because I couldn't have a baby. We tried so much, but it didn't work. And when we got to the doctor, he told me the biggest shock of my life. "I'm sorry, but it seems that you can't have kids." I felt the world crashing down. I love
And got
kids.
punished.
I want to hold a baby of my own. When we got home, Braxton did he go? friends.
It was
Or
me
maybe
now.
steal Mr. Johnson and take all of his
He's
money.
me
Who
now.
knows what this head might come up with.
That's dummy.
Alright, that's it.
What's it?
No more.
Really? No, look what you fucking did. Look what you fucking did. Wow, fat shit. It's about to be 12 a.m. Get ready to go to bed. Ow.
You're counting the screen?
No, it's nothing.
Get it or no one wants to watch TV time. Don't tell me you're about to watch TV. Stop with your feet. Don't tell me you're actually about to put Polly. Okay. The doll. No. Please, Evan. You can't possibly put it, please. Okay.
Is that it?
Ha. Oh, shit. Finally.
I like this.
Me too. Thanks, Gary, for putting this.
You're welcome.
I love these people. They're awesome.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, my big brother. Evan, is that you running? And you're gonna prank me and my and
It's
Joe?
not you. You're not that big. That's not me.
That's who did. Yeah, I'm really annoyed.
Subscribe.